You're sitting there while everyone around you is screaming at their phones about the latest controversy, and you feel nothing. Not anger, not excitement, not the urge to pick a side, just this quiet sense of detachment that makes you wonder if something is fundamentally different about how your brain works. Here's what's actually happening in your brain during these moments. While most people experience what researchers call emotional contagion, literally catching emotions from those around them, your neural pathways are firing differently. Research suggests that independent thinkers may show different activation patterns in the anterior cingulate cortex, the brain region responsible for social conformity pressure. When everyone else's mirror neurons are working overtime to sync with the crowd's energy, yours stays remarkably calm. You're not emotionally numb or disconnected. You're just wired with what neuroscientists call cognitive independence. Your prefrontal cortex, the brain's CEO, maintains stronger control over your emotional responses. This means you can observe social situations without being swept into them. But here's where it gets really interesting. This same neural wiring that keeps you detached from drama might be the exact reason you excel in areas others struggle with. This independence shows up in fascinating ways throughout your daily life. While others are refreshing social media for the latest updates on celebrity breakups or political scandals, you're genuinely confused about why this matters. Your brain literally processes these events differently. Some research suggests that individual differences in temporoparietal junction activity may relate to self-other processing, the brain region that distinguishes between self and other. This means you naturally filter information through the lens of how does this actually affect my life, rather than absorbing every piece of drama as if it's personally relevant. You might find yourself thinking, why is everyone so invested in this? While scrolling through heated comment sections. Your friends treat you like a walking Wikipedia for gossip, but you honestly can't keep track of who's feuding with whom. This isn't social ignorance, it's cognitive efficiency. Your brain is literally conserving mental energy by not processing irrelevant social information, freeing up bandwidth for what actually matters to you. This detachment becomes even more pronounced when it comes to competitive situations that consume others. While your coworkers are staying up until 2 a.m. watching playoff games, screaming at referees who can't hear them, you're genuinely puzzled by the emotional investment. Research suggests that people vary in their dopamine responses to vicarious victories, meaning your brain doesn't get the same chemical reward from your team winning as others do. You might enjoy watching sports for strategy or athleticism, but you don't experience that crushing disappointment when your side loses. Friends assume you're just not competitive, but that's not quite right. You compete fiercely in areas where you have actual control: your career, personal projects, creative endeavors. Your brain has essentially learned to distinguish between meaningful competition and parasocial investment. You're not lacking passion, you're just selective about where you direct it. But this selective engagement creates an interesting social dynamic that most people completely misunderstand. Your brain's independence creates what psychologists call identity stability. While others ride emotional roller coasters based on external events, your sense of self remains remarkably consistent. Studies on cortisol levels suggest that people with different personality types may show varying stress responses during major social events like elections or cultural controversies. The results were striking. Some individuals may show less stress hormone fluctuation during social events, maintaining baseline levels even during peak social chaos. Your friends might call you chill or unflappable, but what they're really observing is neurological resilience. While their self-worth fluctuates with their chosen tribe's wins and losses, yours operates on an internal compass that doesn't shift with external winds. This isn't emotional numbness, it's emotional sovereignty. Your brain has developed what researchers term outcome independence, meaning your mood and identity aren't hostage to things you can't control. But this stability comes with a hidden cost that most independent thinkers never recognize. The hidden cost of this emotional independence is that you've probably been gaslit into believing something is wrong with you. Society constantly sends the message that caring deeply about group outcomes is what makes you a good person. If you're not devastated by your team's loss or fired up about the latest social cause, you must be selfish or disconnected. Research suggests that independent thinkers report 45% higher rates of being labeled as cold or uncaring by others, despite showing equal levels of empathy in one on one relationships. The difference is that your empathy is direct and personal, not broadcast and performative. You're the person friends call during real crises because you actually listen instead of just matching their emotional energy. You don't post about every tragedy, but you quietly help your neighbor through their divorce. Your brain processes compassion differently. You feel deeply for individuals you can actually impact, rather than experiencing distant outrage about situations beyond your control. But this selective emotional investment is constantly misinterpreted as apathy, leaving you wondering if you're missing some essential human component that makes others so passionate about abstract conflicts. Subscribe for more psychology that actually explains you and realize who you really are. If you enjoyed this, go check out other videos on my channel.